everybody, welcome back to the Simply Nourished YouTube channel. I'm Danielle Zeese. I'm a holistic nutritionist living in Seoul, Korea, and today we're talking about one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, coffee. So join me today in my kitchen and we'll have a cup of, I'm actually just like a scoundrel, this isn't even coffee, this is a brown rice matcha. But that might be relevant because we're actually going to talk about ways to healthy up your coffee, and we're going to be talking about switching up your relationship with coffee if you're struggling with hormonal imbalances or issues with chronic fatigue. So that's why I'm here today. Let's dive in. So if you know me, you know that I adore coffee right down to the deepest crevices of my bones. Like, I just love it. I think it's fantastic. But my relationship with coffee really had to be checked when I was struggling with hormonal issues and fatigue issues that I just couldn't get to the bottom of. And to be honest, coffee was one of the last things that I really wanted to play around with when I was struggling like that. Like, I could have done anything else, and I was doing a lot. My diet was super on point. I felt like my lifestyle was really on point, but I wasn't really willing to shake my coffee habit because I was a full-blown coffee addict. So when I kind of faced that and acknowledged that it wasn't serving me at that time, it was extremely transformative for my health. And I see this a lot with the community of people that I work with who have chronic fatigue issues and adrenal issues. Coffee is one of those crutches that we've relied on for so many years. We love it. It's something comfortable. It's a quiet minute for us, in our busy lives. There's a lot of associations we put on coffee that build that like deep love that's so much more than just a drink, right? So it's really hard to break that addiction. So as much as I hated making that change, once I like buckled down and actually committed to it and made it, I noticed really big shifts. So I thought it was pretty cool that I like committed, I made the change, and I actually started to notice tangible benefits in my life. And one of the biggest ones was better sleep. And the interesting thing, and the thing that you have to remember, is if you are struggling with hormones and chronic fatigue issues, it's not to say that you have to give up your coffee drinking forever. It's just taking a break from caffeine. And when you take that break, it's cool because you notice your true energy, and it gives you the ability to gauge like what's happening with your energy day to day, where the dips are, how food affects it. In those moments, like in the afternoon, if you're having an energy dip where you typically go grab a coffee, gives you an opportunity to experiment more with your diet and see how your energy transforms with really simple dietary tweaks. And I just wrote a blog on this, so I'll link it below if you're interested in learning more about that. But right now, I just want to give you 3 really quick tips if you are a coffee drinker, ways to just healthy up your coffee habit. So we have to remember that coffee is one of the most popular drinks that we consume globally, and at the same time, it is one of the most highly sprayed with pesticides. So opting for organic is a really good idea when it comes to coffee beans. And you want to preserve the freshness. The healthiest coffee is the freshest coffee from a good source. So buy the whole beans, grind them yourself, and grind them right before you prepare the coffee so you can maximize that freshness. I have heard of issues with like mycotoxins from the mold in some coffees where it comes pre-ground. And I have heard of some companies in instances even adding like cheap filler to increase the weight so they can like save some money. So you want to avoid anything like that. Just buy like good quality beans, grind them yourself at home. You'll taste the difference. It's so much better. So we're going for organic, we're going for freshly ground, and then we're being mindful of what we're putting in our coffee. I feel like there's a lot of things we kind of adulterate our coffees with. But if you are going to add anything to your coffee, like you can make it super delicious the way you like it, but just add clean ingredients. So if you like a creamy coffee, I recommend, make it the best version of a coffee you can be. Get grass-fed cream. Get like grass-fed milk if you drink dairy. If not, go with like something like coconut milk. You can also make it creamy by adding something like grass-fed butter, MCT oil, or coconut oil and blending it in. And you'll notice it gets like super frothy and latte-like, which is delicious. And for sweeteners, you can go with things like stevia, monk fruit if you're trying to avoid the carbs. I really don't like the taste of stevia, so if I were going that route, maybe monk fruit. You can use things like honey, like maple syrup. You could do coconut sugar. There's a lot more healthful options that you can use instead of like kind of these crappier options on the market, or these like corn syrup based sweeteners, whatever they are. You just want to be mindful. So if you're making quality coffee, making it fresh and putting good ingredients in it, then you're truly keeping your coffee as a health food drink, and that is amazing. So those are my tips for healthying up your coffee if you are a coffee drinker. But you may be on the other side of the spectrum where, like me, you might be struggling with hormonal issues, maybe adrenal issues, energy issues day to day, and you want to try switching up your relationship with coffee. And if you do want to do that, is just giving yourself 30 days, committing to it, and being hardcore about like not having any coffee. But there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of like fill that void in the meantime, and they're ridiculously delicious. They're energizing at the same time, but they're a lot more gentle on your hormones. So actually this week on my blog, I did share 4 energizing morning drinks that aren't coffee. So if you're exploring this route, you'll definitely want to check those out. They're linked below. So let me know how it goes for you guys. Can't wait to check in with you soon. Bye guys.